water, air, crude oil, our Earth's resources. Resources we have to take care of so that the world we live in is still worth living in tomorrow.
Recycling, the principle of returning waste to the production loop, is a key feature of sustainable development. Legislation created the legal basis for recycling with the Product Recycling and Waste Management Act in 1996. Recycling packaging via the dual system has been blazing a trail in this sector since 1991, and not only in Germany. The green dot as financing mark on sales packaging indicates that industry and trade are participating in the system, and that this packaging should be placed in the collection containers belonging to the system. This applies nearly everywhere in Europe. From Portugal and Spain, France and Ireland, Norway, Sweden and Latvia. 13 countries in all have meanwhile joined the umbrella organisation Pro-Europe, and others will follow. And this success story started more than 10 years ago in Germany. In Germany, 81% of all packaging sold on the market is meanwhile forwarded for recycling via the dual system. This positive balance is based on consistent, consumer-oriented collection and sorting of used sales packaging and subsequent recycling. Thanks to the efforts of an innovative waste management industry in Germany, new sorting and recycling techniques are being developed continuously and existing ones improved. This has led to a completely new branch of industry with around 17,000 jobs. The technologies developed here are well on their way to becoming export hits all over the world. Parallel to this development, packaging consumption has dropped clearly in the last few years, simply because we use less packaging material today. Conserving resources in this way makes sense both ecologically and economically, because smaller, more easily recyclable packaging costs less in terms of the green dot license fees that have to be paid by manufacturers. As a result, for the first time in Germany, economic growth has now been decoupled from the volume of waste. This wouldn't have been possible without the support and commitment of German consumers, because waste must first be collected and pre-sorted at home if nationwide collection, sorting and recycling by the dual system and its partners is to function properly, now and in the future. This includes separating waste correctly. Packaging should be emptied completely, but there's no need to wash it. The different materials should be separated. All packaging made of plastic, composites and metal should be placed in yellow bins or bags. Exceptions are paper and glass, which can be taken to collection containers, for example. Above all, no residual waste should be put into yellow bags or bins. This only complicates sorting, incurs extra costs, and videotapes, electric cables, stockings and tights can even bring sorting plants to a complete standstill.
Modern sorting plants in which recyclable waste from the yellow collection containers is separated with semi-automatic techniques, more frequently with fully automatic ones today, create the prerequisites for optimum recycling.
Aluminium cans, foil, caps and lids from yellow bags are sorted out in eddy current separators. A magnetic field acting in the opposite direction lifts them off the conveyor belt and drops them over a partition. After preparation, the secondary raw material recovered in this way can be processed by the aluminium industry without any problems. It's melted, cast and rolled. Then it's used to manufacture aluminium products such as sheets, which require only 1/20th of the energy otherwise needed for the production of new goods. The sheets can be printed and subsequently made into packaging, for instance, for canned fish. Production waste is returned directly to the production loop.
More than 87% of all aluminium packaging produced in Germany is recycled. The recycling quota for tin plate is similarly high.
Tin cans are magnetic. They're lifted out of the recyclable waste stream by overhead magnets, compressed into bales of scrap and processed at a later date in steelworks. Steel scrap, which consists of more than just cans, provides around 40% of the raw material required for steel production in Germany. After all, about 15,000 of these steel slabs are manufactured solely from the tin scrap recycled in Germany. Enough raw material for around 9 billion new cans. A can that's returned to the production loop can be recycled as often as desired without any quality losses.
And perhaps we'll meet up with the can again, as part of a railway line, a car body, or a bottle bank.
At bottle banks, glass is sorted according to colour by consumers, and the different colours are picked up and recycled separately. This is because it's almost impossible to recycle the material from clear glass containers profitably if it contains a coloured glass fraction of more than 10%. Even if only individual coloured glass bottles or fragments end up in the clear glass fraction, they have to be removed. This is why it's sorted once again in plants like this. Riddlers separate bottles, broken glass and small fragments, producing various material streams, which are handled separately in the subsequent process. Differently coloured glass fragments and impurities, such as pieces of ceramic, are sorted out automatically in several steps. Today, even fragments smaller than 15 millimeters can be sorted correctly. Scattered over the conveyor belt, they're examined with an optoelectronic device. On the basis of the light absorbed, a computer determines what has to be removed. An extremely accurate system of compressed air jets immediately blows these pieces out. The prepared fragments are melted together with soda, lime and sand before being shaped in a blowing machine into bottles like these. Approximately 2.7 million tons of waste glass are recycled each year, twice as much as before the introduction of the dual system.
The principle of collecting waste glass in bottle banks has proved most successful. In some regions, waste paper is also collected in containers, or for instance, in blue bins.
Most paper manufacturers are also recyclers. Since waste paper accounts for about 60% of the material used to produce new paper, it's the most important secondary raw material in German paper mills. The bales of paper, which are sorted into different paper qualities, are dissolved and pulped in the pulper. Then any impurities and printing inks are removed. In addition, other raw materials are added as required in order to produce the desired paper type and quality. Subsequently, the fibres, which have been dissolved in water, are spread evenly on twin-wire paper machines. The paper sheet is pressed, drained and dried. In this way, rolls of paper or cardboard, which can weigh anything up to 30 tons, are produced. The starting material for corrugated board and cardboard boxes, which, like newsprint, can be produced solely from waste paper.